For as long as I can remember, I've been fascinated by the sea. Growing up on the landlocked border of Hertfordshire and Essex, whales and dolphins weren't exactly a common sight, but weekend visits to Frinton Beach, just down the road from Clacton, kept my ocean obsession alive.
It's unsettling to think that had I grown up 10 years earlier, I would have seen orca and bottlenose dolphins from this very pier. Except their dorsal fins wouldn't have appeared on the horizon, and they certainly wouldn't have felt the ebb and flow of the tide as they travelled down the coast with their families. They would have been right here, in a tank, with the ocean so tantalisingly close, yet out of reach.
In fact, between the 1970s and 80s, there were more than 30 dolphinariums in the UK, keeping about 300 dolphins. With Clacton Pier holding 4 bottlenose dolphins, Maria, Bubble, Squeak and Dolly, and 4 orca, Susie Wong, who later went to Windsor Safari Park, Nemo, Neptune and another unnamed male, who were all captured from the same family off the coast of Iceland.
This year marks 30 years since the last dolphinarium closed its doors on March the 8th, 1993. 3 decades of captivity finally came to an end after a report co-authored by Whale and Dolphin Conservation, or WDC as they're also known, exposed the terrible conditions in which dolphins are kept in captivity. In response, the UK government introduced welfare requirements which none of the attractions could meet. This was a great success for WDC, and to all of their fellow campaigners and to those brave protesters who demonstrated outside the marine parks. But surprisingly to many of us, it's still not actually illegal to keep whales and dolphins in a tank in the UK. So anyone with the right amount of money and intent could open a facility tomorrow.
You might be alarmed to know that the captivity industry is actually growing globally. More than 3,600 whales, dolphins and porpoises are held in aquariums, zoos, marine parks and swim with the dolphins experiences worldwide, with new markets exploding in China and the Middle East. SeaWorld has recently opened its first park outside the US, in Abu Dhabi.
And even though we don't currently have any dolphinariums in the UK, many Brits are unwittingly guilty of supporting this cruelty when they visit whale and dolphin shows or swim with dolphin experiences whilst on holiday. And UK tour operators are still promoting them and selling tickets.
This being said, we've come a long way in the UK. We've had 30 years captivity free, and growing numbers of people head to locations like Shannon Point in northeast Scotland to enjoy watching some of the 28 species of wild whales and dolphins found in UK seas.
So, where does that leave us? Many people are waking up to the fact that whales and dolphins are too intelligent, too social, too mobile, and just too big to ever be okay in a captive environment.
A massive 75% of the UK public think it's cruel to keep whales and dolphins in captivity for human entertainment. Some countries have already made captivity illegal, and WDC has developed a roadmap for an ethical phase-out of captivity that will make this generation of captive whales and dolphins the last.
But where would more than 3,600 whales and dolphins go? You can't just pick them up and put them back in the ocean.
So there's an urgent need for more ocean sanctuaries, like the Sea Life Trust Beluga Whale Sanctuary in Iceland, to which WDC is a partner. Whales and dolphins who are suitable candidates for release can be rehabilitated and prepared for their new, independent lives. But for those who are not, these sanctuaries will provide natural homes, where they can live their lives in the ocean, interacting with the natural world around them, exploring the vast space, feeling the weather and the currents and the movements of the tide, and importantly, not having to perform for our entertainment.
Whale and Dolphin Conservation are urging the UK government to make whale and dolphin captivity illegal here in the UK. They're also asking UK tour operators to support their ethical phase-out plan to make this generation of captive whales and dolphins the last. This is where you come in. Sign the petition, donate to WDC, don't buy a ticket, and let's end captivity forever.